Hello, my friend. Welcome to the replay for today's Proverbs number 5. We'll be beginning in just a moment because this is a live replay. You're going to see about 5 minutes of music, so enjoy and we'll get started soon.
Before the earth was made, wisdom stood tall, knowing every step through the rise and the fall. In the pages of Proverbs, secrets unfold, revealing a treasure more precious than gold. Get wise, open your eyes, read a chapter every day, you'll realize. Guided by wisdom, let preparedness rise. Get wise, it's no surprise, a proverb a day will bring wisdom your way. Get wise. It takes wisdom to get paid, to walk the right way, to make the right choices every single day. From the dawn of creation to the hustle and grind, Proverbs light the path for a clear state of mind. Get wise, open your eyes, read a chapter every day, you'll realize. Guided by wisdom, let preparedness rise. Get wise, it's no surprise, a proverb a day will bring wisdom your way. Get wise. A proverb a day will bring wisdom your way. Life shouldn't nag, men shouldn't brag. Shut your lips like a vice, show people your wise. Take a moment, let the words sink in. With every chapter, let the journey begin. Get wise, open your eyes, read a chapter every day, you'll realize. Guided by wisdom, let preparedness rise. Get wise, it's no surprise, a proverb a day will bring wisdom your way. Get wise, open your eyes, read.
Well, good morning, everybody. My name is DJ, and this is Thor. He's hanging out with us today for a little while. I'm sure we'll get another 30 seconds out of him easily. But today we're going to be reading from Proverbs 5 in the Holman Christian Standard Bible. And so, yeah, we'll be go ahead and hear. Let me pray for you, and then we'll dive right in. Father God, thank you so much for all of my friends here and for all that you're doing in their lives. And Father, I just pray a special portion of blessing on all of them, that they may be guided in your way, your truth, and your inspiration Fill them with energy today, Father. Fill them with all the hope that you have for them and all of the convictions that they need to live within that hope and freedom. We pray this in your son's name. Amen. Awesome. Well, let's get started.
It's time for Proverbs every day. Words of wisdom show you the way. Every month a whole new look, different version of the book. Reading the whole chapter each calendar day. Proverbs every day. Proverbs every day.
Okay. Okay. Let's dive right in, shall we? Let's get our screen shared here like a smart person would. All right. Now this is we're going to be answering some questions today. I guess our world seems to have some confusion on whether or not certain things are appropriate. So let's go ahead and use the the power of wisdom, I guess you could say, to understand why, not just but why. So, chapter 5. My son, pay attention to my wisdom. Listen closely to my understanding. Or stretch out your ear. Make an effort, so that you may maintain discretion and that your lips safeguard knowledge. Sorry. Just put Thor down because he wanted down. Now he's meowing at me. I think he wants to get back up, but I don't know what he wants. He's a cat. Anyway, so anyway, we have this standard kind of intro. Yeah, thanks for that. Oh, once again. Anyway, we have the standard intro that we've been seeing for the last few. It's kind of that call to attention, that indication that it's time to pay attention now. Verse 3. Though the lips of the foreign woman drip honey, and her words are smoother than oil, or her palate is smoother than oil, in the end she's as bitter as wormwood and as sharp as a double-edged sword. Now, there's the lips of the foreign woman. So there's a couple of things to note here. One is that we have a outside of the community kind of focus here. This is someone who is there's a purposeful seduction here meant to take this young man away from what he would have, and so there's a lot of effort being put forth here to do that. There's kind of an indication here that this is from like a foreign power kind of a thing, but it's kind of odd that way. I think it just works as a general guidance, though, as far as like the forbidden or the foreign woman. It's for all young men. It's a good notion to have, like, be aware of this. Don't just go straight into this and be surprised by it, but be aware. And here's why. Verse 5, her feet go down to death. Her steps head straight for Sheol. She doesn't consider the path of life. She doesn't know that her ways are unstable. So this has always been interesting to me, the fact that she doesn't know, that she's basically being used. And yeah, it has to be said. Yeah, just I didn't watch the Grammys this last weekend. I was busy watching real music happen. I was at a Hans Zimmer concert, and so I was having way more fun with that than I was with the travesty that has become the Grammys. And with my music background, no, I'm not going to ever hold back on this. I've been kind of a perpetual boycott for years, but what I've been seeing is like this kind of one-upmanship of especially among women, of trying to grab attention by flaunting their attitudes, their bodies, and in a lot of cases their words. And I don't think that they are considering these things, that they don't know how unstable this is, how dangerous this is for them. I generally think they just don't have any clue, and they're just being propped up by people that are making a lot of money from them, and so they continue kind of just pushing them in those directions, and it's disgusting. And yeah, we need to be aware of that. You know, there's some things going on here. So, verse 7. So now, my sons, listen to me. Don't turn away from the words of my mouth. Keep your way far from her. Don't go near the door of her house. Otherwise, you'll give up your vitality to others, your years to someone cruel. Strangers will drain your resources, and your earnings will end up in a foreigner's house. Gosh, kind of exactly what I was just saying. It's one of those things where it's just like if you're pulled in by this, there's a lot of things that start to happen. You're putting things in motion, and so we're not just trying to be like um, prudish or whatever here. We're trying to warn our young men. This is going to happen. You're going to face this. You need to be prepared for it. Because, verse 11, at the end of your life, you will lament when your physical body has been consumed. You will say, how I hated discipline and how my heart despised correction. I didn't obey my teachers or listen closely to my mentors or turn my ear to my mentors. I am on the verge of complete ruin before the entire community. So a couple of just important things to know on this. And like I said before, it's not about us being like smacking kids with a ruler or whatever image you want to prop up in your head. The reason we do this is because we love them and we don't want to see them come to ruin. And so if we're not preparing our young men, especially, for the temptations that they will face in their life, if we're not real about this with them, then what's going to happen when they face these things? These are designed specifically. And that's the thing I want you to know about this, is that these are designed. You know, it's not just a accidental thing, just happens to take place. No, these are straight up enemy designed to snare young people, especially young men. And so we need to be preparing them for this. Otherwise, what's going to happen? Well, they're just going to be snared by it. These are forces that are way stronger than we sometimes give them credit for, and we need to be aware of that. As the more we normalize things, the more we have people showing up pretty much literally naked to a award show or whatever we want to call it, the more that happens, the more it becomes easier for these people to make these deceptions happen. And we just need to be preparing our young people for this. Otherwise, we hate them, is what I'm literally saying here. It's like if we don't prepare them, we might as well just say, I hate you, get away from me. We might as well just say that. Take some responsibility. All right. Here's the good news, mixed in with some warnings, because, it's just the theme of this one. 15, drink water from your own cistern, water flowing from your own well. This is a metaphor for marriage. Should your springs flow in the streets, streams of water in the public squares? They should be for you alone, and not for you to share with strangers. Let your fountain be blessed, and take pleasure in the wife of your youth, a loving doe, a graceful fawn. Let her breasts always satisfy you. Be lost in her love forever. Why, my son? Would you be infatuated with a foreign woman or embrace the breast of a stranger? For a man's ways are before the Lord's eyes, and he considers all his paths. A wicked man, a wicked man's iniquities entrap him. He's entangled in the ropes of his own sin. He will die because there's no discipline, and he'll be lost because of his great stupidity. Short, but not exactly sweet. I'm actually curious to hear people's thoughts on this. This is always one of those ones where it tends to get a little quiet in the room, and I'm aware of that. I recognize that. There's not a lot of highlights in this because I think it's kind of one of those things where it's just like a lot of this for myself and for others that are a little more seasoned citizens. That there's a have been through this already, and I it's not that I felt unprepared for it, but there certainly were times in college that there were some very confusing moments, and I was like, what is going on here? And I was fortunate to have a foundation at that point. I had friends that I could uh, uh, so I had friends that we would remind ourselves or keep ourselves accountable. Uh, yeah, in one case, I won't name names; it's not fair. But we would just certain times of the year, especially walking around campus, we'd repeat Matthew 5:28 to each other, which is I say to you, everyone that looks at a woman lustfully have already committed adultery with her in his heart, in his heart. And so we would remind ourselves of that. We would keep that front of mind. And so if I didn't have that, I don't know what would have happened. Honestly, I don't know where things would have gone as far as that goes. But I was really thankful for a lot of my friends and yeah, yeah, and accountability partners that I didn't realize were accountability partners. I thought they were just dudes I hung out with. But it turns out that I'd made some wise choices and wasn't even aware that I was making the choices. And so that's something where as I don't have the perspective of a parent in this situation, but I'm sure that it'd be one of those things where it's like kind of encouraged to have friends that are willing to speak these truths to each other and keep each other accountable. And so, encouraging without requiring is always kind of a fun little thing here. But this whole lament here, that is meant to be um, taken seriously. This is something that would happen. We should also mention this: the verge of complete ruin before the entire community. There is a notion here of public shame, obviously, but I think there's more to it. I think so when it says a verge of complete ruin before the entire community, it's not just reputation, it's not just finances, but there's also some literal notion of like sexually transmitted diseases here. So when your physical body has been consumed, I believe the Amplified actually literally calls it out as that. And so there's a notion of the risk of bringing diseases to a community from being seduced by a foreign woman, that sort of thing. Now, let's say that this was a young king or someone who was going to be sent as an emissary to other nations. Do you think this would be a factor? Yeah, it definitely would be. And so as leaders that I hope are making for other leaders, it's really important that these things be brought up. So it's really, really crucial. So thanks for bearing with me on this one. I know this is a hard one to get through. We're not done yet with the awkward ones to get through, but this one is probably, I would say this is probably one of the most awkward of the Proverbs to get through. But there really is just a lot of um, good safeguards in this one. And so, in fact, it literally says, verse 2 says, so you maintain discretion and your lips safeguard knowledge. So there we go. That's the unconscious repetition there. So, in any case, we will plan on seeing you all tomorrow. I have oh yeah, so much going on. I'm barely keeping it straight here. So so there's some good things coming down the pipeline here as far as with what we're doing, and I think there's some things going on in my life that are accelerating, and what's going to happen with that is a little vague for me right now. So I have to be vague as well. But I'm hoping for some positive results and making some true impacts on some people in a time that is a lack of hope in my primary industry, which is IT. You know, with all the stuff with AI going on and things like that, there's a lot of discouraged and scared people working in that field right now. And so my hope is that I'll be able to kind of inject some hope into that. And so that's something I'm looking at doing. So literally, if you could be praying for the next few weeks, especially for that might be something that is that God puts me in front of the right people and gives me the right words to say. That would be wonderful. I think it's yeah. I don't want to call it a ministry. That's not what this is. But if I can minister to people while I'm serving and working, that is, I would call this more tent making than ministry. But in any case, I do pray that God is blessing that time and blessing others through interacting with me in these kind of scenarios. So definitely pray for that. And if there's anything I can be praying for you too, let me know. I am going to be working on a private community for us. I think with everything going on, I'm probably going to have to push this off until March. I wanted to do it this month, but I honestly think that just with everything going on, I'm probably going to have to delay it a little bit. But I'm looking forward to us having our own private space where it's outside of social media and all that kind of stuff. It's very exciting to me. I'm just trying to get the time to actually get it set up and ready to go, and then get some people to help me maintain it. So moving forward with that, good stuff. So I will plan on seeing you tomorrow at the same time. And in the meantime, be blessed by the best and go be a blessing to all the rest. Love you guys. See you tomorrow.